Alain, welcome to the FIA Sport Conference in Turin. First of all, let's ask about your World Championship success. Which of those 4 World Championships in Formula One do you cherish the most?
Without any doubt, it's 86. It is obviously the championship where I won it, but the whole team behind me won it. That means we never gave up. We didn't have the best car during this season. For sure, the Williams with the Honda engine was better. So in this case, you have a better satisfaction at the end. And the way we won it, the last race in Australia was amazing. And even Keke at the time helped a lot. That was the first time in my career that the other driver helped the team to be successful, just to push very hard at the beginning and to try to make a mess that happened, with the tires.
You came back obviously as a team owner briefly in Formula One, and now you're back again with a team in Formula E. Tell us about that challenge and why you decided that Formula E was the right challenge for you to embrace.
Yeah, having said that, for sure is 2 different business. Honestly, having a Formula One team, especially in France, was more than a challenge. Was almost impossible. Formula E is. I like the project from the beginning. I really went into it when we find the right concept. In the cities, no comparison with the other racing cars, no noise, and that's why I wanted to be involved. Being a Renault ambassador, also I tried to push them to be at the beginning of the story. It was again a challenge, almost a bet, because we didn't know very much what was going to happen. And in a little bit more than 1 year, it's unbelievable, because everybody is talking about Formula E. It's very successful. We have a nice calendar next year, so let's wait and see. But it's quite a lot of work, because we have to be very careful about how we make the progression. But it's a good discipline, parallel to Formula One, without any competition, and because it's really very good also because we have a relation with the car industry. And I've never seen a bridge so close to car industry and what we are doing with Formula E.
And particularly because I guess it's like a laboratory. Formula One has always been considered, as a WEC and other series, a laboratory for future motorsport. But there's a kind of social responsibility dimension to what you're doing in Formula E, isn't it? Which makes it that little bit different.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit like if you compare what we had in Formula One 20, 30 years ago, when we almost had to build everything. We were at the beginning of a story, and that is why, in my opinion, people like it, because we had, turbo engine, and nobody believed in turbo engine, especially English people. But I remember 1 or 2 years where we had the V8, we had the V12, we had 3 kind of V12 plus the turbo all together, and that is why. Not talking about the ground effect cars, aerodynamic, carbon brakes, carbon chassis. It looks like today everything is almost done, and we have to adapt a few things. With Formula E, that is why people like it, because it's a long time that we talk about electrical cars, but now it's working, and it's working also because the commissions, European Commission and worldwide, we have some restriction to the CO2, and the constructors, they are obliged to go in this technology. Without the regulation, I'm not sure that they would go for it completely. So that's why it's working, and they could also use Formula E to make the development even quicker, and also to give the credibility to this technology in different countries and in cities.
As France's greatest ever racing driver, it must have brought you a lot of pride, I would have thought, as a team owner with Formula E, to race in the centre of Paris. That must have been like a dream.
I was very proud. It was a dream because we were not successful to get the Formula One back in France. We had a fantastic project very close to Paris, in Flins, a few years ago. We were not successful for that for political reasons. So I was very proud that we could make it inside Paris with political differences between the mayor of Paris and the mayor of the 7th arrondissement, and so it was quite a big challenge, and Jean Todt, myself, and a lot of people helped about this project. Also because of what happened, in France in the last few months, it was very important for us to show that we could organize something. Was a little bit disappointing for the spectators. So there's a lot of things we can improve in the future, but I hope we can keep this race for a long time.
One thing that intrigues me, Alain, is when you stopped racing Formula One cars, did you ever think about racing, trying to win Le Mans, for example? Because I know that even today, you and I have spoken about this, your competitive spirit still rages. You still challenge yourself on a bicycle in veterans bicycle racing. So obviously you never lost that flame of competition.
I prefer master bicycle than veteran. Not like veteran. No, it's I like challenges. I like to have a project or something, and for sure bicycle is quite important for me because I keep good shape and I have an objective. When you have non-Formula One, especially having the success, it's quite difficult to find another discipline. I've done a few things, with GT but going on the same track where you drove Formula One, it doesn't look the same, And that is why I've done ice races for about 7-8 years, because it was completely different and. On the paper, I was not good for that, When I drove the car the first time, I was completely nowhere. And that was a challenge. I said, okay, why not getting for this challenge? I won 34 races and 3 championships, so it was successful. But Le Mans, I thought about it at one stage. But I thought also maybe it was too late. So we have to, sometimes you need to have the motivation at more than 100%, not at 99%. And now it's too late anyway.